All right. We are ready. We are live. We are live all over the place. Today, we are live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, in our Creatives Colony group. We're everywhere right now, and I'm really, really excited to be with you all on today. Oh my goodness. So, before I jump in, how are you? How are you? How are you? Let me know how you doing. Like Wendy Williams, how you doing? Let me know how you are today. Let's get our chat going. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The joys of technology is a whole bunch of moving around in here. A whole bunch of moving around. Okay, so if you do not know me, my name is Tangeray Porter, and I am the Chief Vision Strategist with Cultivated Connections Design and Consulting, where I help educators cultivate healing, social awareness, and education through the arts, baby. I'm ready to hang out with you all today. So if you can take a moment to share, subscribe, follow all the social media platforms at cultivated.connections. Again, that's cultivated.connections. And if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can just go to the link in the bio. Well, more so Instagram, you can go to the link in the bio to go ahead and grab all that information. If you're on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Mhm. Thank you. I thank you in advance. Okay. So if you see me looking around, that's because I am on Instagram on my phone and I'm on all the other platforms from my computer. So you might see me look up, you might see me look down, and that's the reason why. Okay. All right. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into today's topic. And today's topic is one thing you shouldn't teach without. So, again, today's topic is one thing you shouldn't teach without. And I bet you're like, girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because I know I shouldn't be teaching without pencils and papers and all those supplies, those tangible items, right? We already know we cannot teach without a curriculum. We cannot teach without like school materials. We can't teach without students. But one thing we often forget to do is think about the intangibles that we can't teach without. So we're going to talk a little bit more on that aspect of it, or what are some of the intangibles that we can't teach without. And we're going to come from a lens of just self reflection and self discovery. The reason why is you should not be teaching without some kind of philosophy, vision, mission for the work that you do. Point blank, period. I'm going to repeat that. You should not be teaching without some kind of philosophy, vision, mission, or something about the work that you do and why you do this work. The reason why is this work is hard. Mhm. Teaching, working in education, whether you are the teacher, the assistant, the paraprofessional, the SPED teacher, the enrichment teacher, related arts, elective, principal, office manager, operations manager, all those different things. You need to have a philosophy or a mission, a personal mission of why do you do this work? Why do you stay in this work? Okay. And a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people don't talk about the fact that a lot of people are doing this work and don't want to do this work. And I'm not talking about the burnout, because yeah, we are all there or get there at some point. Burnout is real. It makes you not want to do this work anymore. But what got you into this work in the first place? And I can honestly say, at one point, I was doing recruitment for my school and thoroughly enjoyed it, y'all. It was one of my favorite roles of many. It was one of my favorite roles to get to know new educators or incoming educators, and you get to know people's real values of why they do this work or want to do this work or desire to or think they desire to do this work. And a lot of things that I was finding is that people were coming in or applying And this just is not in this experience. I've experienced this across the board just talking to educators. But a lot of people were, of course, young, right? Newly graduates. So they don't have a lot of life under their belt, right? But a lot of people were just coming in not knowing why they wanted to do this work, especially doing the work in a inner city community. And a lot of the conversations that I've experienced during that time in their role, as well as other times where I've just had conversations, is people want to save children. Students don't need a savior. Okay. They need a teacher. They need an educator. They need someone that believes in them, empowers them. Children do not need saviors. Little Black children, little children from different marginalized communities do not need saviors. So we're going to start there. Get that out of your head. Okay. Especially if you're talking about doing cultural responsive teaching and really doing that work. They do not need saviors. And I feel like this happens a lot in the art space. I've heard arts educators speak to the fact that children need ways to express themselves because of their going through things at home. What? I'm not disagreeing with that. We should be teaching children, students, especially children of color, well, really all children, how to express themselves, how to navigate their way through life with creativity in the arts. Not disagreeing with that, but that can't be your only reason as to why you're doing this work. Okay. That cannot be your only reason as to why you are doing this work, because children who are going through things need a way to express themselves, right? Like, get that out of your head. Children, students of all ages do not need saviors, okay? Black children, marginalized children, students of any age do not need a savior. So it takes me back to, why are you doing this work? What is your mission? What is your philosophy for you to do this work, whether that is in the gen ed space or the art space? And I'm speaking from the art space. Well, actually, both, because I taught on both sides. Why are you doing this work? Is it to be a savior for children? Please say no. Hey, if you're just tuning in, make sure that you are, let me know you are here. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments. Give me a heart if you were feeling or understand where I'm coming from when I say you should not be teaching without a teaching philosophy. You should not be teaching without a personal mission, vision statement, or whatever. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to write this down. No, you don't. But what is your why? Get grounded in your why. Why are you doing this work? Okay. Is it to teach? Like, for instance, I get a lot of questions about, why are you teaching dance? And a lot of people think it's because I enjoy ballet and modern and all that. Yes, I value the technique aspect of this work, of what I do, but that's not why I teach, especially in a public school, a public charter school at that. That's not why I do this work. The reason why I do this work, or one of the many reasons why I do this work, is because the arts is liberating. Whether you're going through something at home or not, it's liberating. It supports confidence. It supports learning. It allows me to expose children to so many things that isn't just me teaching them how to do a plie. No. Do we learn how to do those things? Yes, of course. We explore those different things. But what we don't do is just sit in that. No, you're going to learn about the different cultures of the world. Okay. And that's something that teaching just technique, it doesn't do. You're going to learn or be reinforced about how to cite evidence in my classroom. Because, like I mentioned, I have done general education previously. So everything that you learn in your core content classrooms, you're going to be reinforced in my classroom as well. That's one of my biggest philosophies as to why I do what I do in the way that I do it. It's not just to teach you how to move your body. You should leave this class with appreciation for the arts as a whole, not just dance. You should be able to leave this classroom with a um a mindset, a growth mindset. Like I might not can do this today, but if I continue to practice and continue to try, then I will get it. Or maybe I might need to modify, right? So your philosophy is needed. You should not be going into any classroom and not knowing your why. Why are you doing this work? Because this work is hard, right? This work is so hard to do daily, right? You will lose yourself if you do not sit in your why for a little while. Some self discovery. You will lose yourself. And I'm going to speak to the arts educators a little bit here. The reason why I'm saying that is oftentimes we will start to self-identify as just an educator. And I can speak to that. For a long time, I would say, I'm just a dance educator. But no, I'm more than that. I'm a visionary. I'm an artist. Okay, how can I bring that into the classroom? What are my personal values that I'm bringing into the classroom? And all of that goes under philosophy. Okay. Hey, if you're tuning in, just let me know you are here. Drop a heart in the comments. If you're feeling the vibe that we are going along, we are talking about the one thing that you shouldn't be teaching without, or the one thing you shouldn't teach without. And we're not talking about the tangible things. We're not talking about the curriculums. We're not talking about the classroom materials, because duh, we need those things, right? What we're talking about is the intangible thing of a teaching philosophy, a personal statement, a personal mission of why you're doing this work. Okay. A lot of people don't tell new educators or even advise them to sit in it, to sit in your why. No. I'll tell you my first experience. So, my first experience with ever creating a philosophy, granted, it was an undergrad during my dance education program. And I was like, what is this? Why do we have to do it? And of course, I did it because it was an assignment, right? I did it. But as I was doing it, I started to really unfold, why do I want to teach in a public school? Like, yes, dance studios are awesome and amazing, but that wasn't my dream. That wasn't my goal. I wanted specifically to teach in a public school system that with children that look like me. And granted, it was beautiful my first year teaching because I actually got a chance to do that, teaching dance at a school, a middle school that wasn't that far from where I grew up. So I knew the neighborhood. I knew what I was getting myself into, and baby, I would do it all over again. Why? Because y'all will hear me say and joke, but I really mean it. There aren't a lot of creative opportunities in the hood. Okay. And if there are, it's people who are coming in with the mindset of, I want to save those children. Get your life. No. Come in with the opportunity of, I want to expose them to other things that are in the world, right? So one of my words that you will oftentimes see in my physical copy of my own teaching philosophy is exposure. That's a word that I value. Okay. So, oops. Uh-oh. I almost clicked out of Instagram. So as I was mentioning my story as to how I got involved into the teaching philosophy, of course, it was an assignment with during my undergrad program, right? Fine, did it. But then it came up again when I was going on interviews because people, the principals, the head of schools were asking, why do you want to do this work? Why do you want to teach dance? And had I not done that assignment with fidelity, I wouldn't have known. Had I not did that self work of like, why do I want to do this? I wouldn't have any kind of answer to tell these people. Okay. Because for most it was like, I just want to dance. I just want to teach dance. I just want to teach music. No, like for real. Dig in. What's your why? And It happened again during grad school. Granted, I did not go to grad school for dance education. It actually was something totally different, curriculum and instruction with a specialty or concentration in reading specialist. So certified reading specialist over here and dance educator and all the other things. So I can teach your baby how to dance and how to read. What's up? But as you can see, one of my values is literacy, right? So I did it again in grad school, and then every year after, it became a part of my practice just because one, a couple of the different schools that I worked at, um, we would do it as a part of our professional development. And at first, that first year, I was like, I don't really see the value in doing this. But then I started to print it out because we legit will write it out, like get feedback. People will push and ask questions and all that. Like, why, you know, tell me more here and what are your action steps? And once I started looking at it from that lens of the every organization, business, nonprofit, or what have you, has a vision and mission statement. Why doesn't your classroom? Why don't you have a personal vision and mission statement, whether that's for your personal life or for your teaching life? So once I switched my perspective and my mindset about doing this work, it started to hit a little different. So when I say I legit do it every year after, and I actually print it. Why? Because after the first 3 months of school, you get in the thick of it, right? Right? You get in the thick of it and you start to forget your why, because the work starts to get harder and harder, or busier, not even necessarily harder, depending on what you're doing, busier and busier. And you just kind of, flailing around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till the next school break is. And so, having it printed out, oftentimes keep it on my desk, having it printed out allows me to refer back, especially on the harder days or the more busier days of like, why am I doing this work? What are my values? And so you need to sit in that. Why do you do this work? What are your values that you want to teach the children? So, one of my things, and you will hear me say it often, is we operate in a spirit of love and kindness. Being loving and being kind is a value for me. That is a value for me. I ain't do nothing to you. Advocate for yourself and don't take it out on me. Okay. But in order for me to instill that in my students, I have to model that, right? And if I did not know that that was a value for myself, I wouldn't be able to model it. Okay. Let me know if this is pushing your mindset. Drop me a flower in the comments if this is pushing you on what you need to do. And this isn't just for new teachers, it's for vet teachers too. I'm 10 plus years in the game. And sometimes I gotta dig deep. I'm like, sis, how you feeling? What we doing? What's your values this year? Have they changed? Right? So love and kindness is one of my top values. And with that comes respect. So you definitely have those core values: the respect, the self-determination, and all those other things. I'm actually thinking about my school's core values, which they go hand in hand with what my personal values are. But love and kindness, again, respect, and not just respect for your peers inside of this classroom, the respect for the cultures that we are being introduced to, the respect for the theater space, or even if we're sitting in my classroom, which is not a theater space, it's the actual just classroom that has no chairs and we dance in it, right? But I need you to use your imagination and pretend like this is a stage. You're respecting the people that are on the stage. You're respecting Miss Porter. You're respecting anybody that comes in this classroom. Even in conflict, you're still showing respect, right? So that's a big thing for me. That's a personal value of mine. Like I mentioned, exposure. I'm a firm believer of exposing children to as much as I can, whether it is a new dance style, whether it is being choreography, whether it is experiencing literacy through dance or literacy through drama. Exposure. That is a belief and value of mine. Point blank and the period. I don't give a fat rat's about teaching children how to do a plie. I don't care. I will, but that's not my value. Technique is not my value. Exposing children to the various things out in this world is my value. Exposing students to the fact that um, a lot of our dance styles comes from Africa. Because if they were to go to this ballet studio, and I'm not shading studios, I'm not. But a lot of them are very much so focused on technique and not education. Okay? And that's where it splits for me. Even when I was teaching the studio, you was learning some history, boo boo, because that's a value of mine. So a lot of students don't know that, right? Like it's a whole situation about jazz dance. This commercialized stuff that you all see, no, no. Do some research. Hey, do some research and recognize that we need to put some respect on the culture's name, okay? Because jazz dance did not come from America. It's rooted in African dance, okay? Rooted in the melanated people. But we're not gonna go on that tangent today. We're gonna do that another day, okay? Sit with your why. Why are you doing this work? What are your beliefs? What are your values? And again, this isn't just for the new educator. This isn't an activity for the new educator. This is self work. No one talks about the mindset work that you need to be an educator of any kind, especially in the K 12 setting. What is your why? Why are you doing this work? And I'm going to push our higher ed people. Why are you doing that work? Is it for a bigger check? Or are you really looking to teach? Yeah, I'm going to push y'all. I'm going to push y'all. So make sure before your term starts, your school year starts, that you grab a notebook and do some self discovery, reground yourself if you felt like you've lost it. This is not just for arts educators, this is for any educator, anybody that's serving people, even if you are not actively educating. If you are serving people, whether that's you at the grocery store, you're the cashier of the grocery, why are you doing that? And it's okay if you say it's just a job, but change your perspective. Why are you serving this person, right? What about it makes you feel good to connect to new people? At least that's how I felt when I was working retail. I was like, oh, I'm connecting with new people. Hey, how you doing? Okay, what you see is what you get. So why are you doing these things? Like, sit with that. Um, yeah. hmm I'm just running across my notes to make sure I did not forget anything that I wanted to mention. So, yeah, self-discovery. Continue to do it daily. Daily. You cannot teach without self-reflection. You cannot teach without a personal vision, excuse me, vision statement. Whether you physically write it down or keep it in your brain, you need to do this work. Show up daily for your students, and it supports you in being your authentic self. Okay, so much conversation about authenticity and being authentic and showing up as myself, but are you doing the work, the self-discovery work, to show up as yourself, especially if you are in front of students of any age? Okay, showing up as me, what you see is what you get, has supported me in that, in allowing my students to show up as them, inwardly and outwardly. Okay. I've had students to say, Miss Porter, I love you. And the reason why they say that is because I tell them that first. Why? Because love is one of my values. Why am I shying away from telling my students I love them? And what happens is, uh, it creates a different relationship with these students. Okay, mind you, I work K-5, and I said it to my middle schoolers too when I was working with them. I love you. And I'm not saying it because I want to save you. No, I genuinely love you. Even if you work in my last nerves, I still love you, right? And I'm still gonna push you and meet you to this bar. You're gonna meet this bar that I'm setting for you because I expect the best from you because I love you, right? So sit with those values and it'll help you identify how you want to display them. I show my students that I care because I'm kind. Now that don't mean that I'm a pushover. No, but I do operate in a spirit of kindness, even if I have to put my firm mama tone on them. Okay. Um, Checking in, self-care is a value of mine. So of course I'm doing it myself, but I'm also teaching my students, how do you care for your body when you're in pain, when you just don't feel like it? That doesn't mean they get to make a choice and sit down. No, there's no opt out in my classroom. Okay? No opt out. You're not opting out of the task. However, you may, if you need to, take a break and then come right back. You may, if you need to modify this stretch, like if it's your leg hurting, okay, that's fine. Just don't stretch that leg. You know what I'm saying? So advocacy, that's another value of mine. Teaching children how to advocate for themselves, whether if I wrong them, or a friend wronged them, or anything. Like, how do you advocate for yourself? We need to teach children the tools that they need. And I couldn't have done that and operated in that if I did not know what my personal values were as a arts educator, or as an educator as a whole. Okay. So I want to leave you all with this. I have three things that I want to tell you. One, hit the link in the bio. Yesterday was bingo day, and I was really excited about it. So I created a cultivating positivity bingo card, and it's just a bunch of different strategies that you can do or use to help you check off, like, how am I cultivating a positive classroom? So that's one. That's the thing. Number one, it's freebie. Go ahead and grab that. And I'm not going to take it off, even though yesterday was bingo day. I'm not going to take it off just because it's a fun resource. Number two, tomorrow, yes, tomorrow there will be a guidebook to support you in this self discovery journey. It's actually already, link is already in the bio. The flyer will come out tomorrow. But if you want to go ahead, if you're watching this replay, and grab that, it's totally free. It's a guidebook. It has some reflection questions in there to help you do some self discovery, as well as how to craft your teaching philosophy. Okay. It has all of that in there. It's, I want to say, about 20 pages, free. Grab it. Okay. Um, and lastly, we definitely this is my exciting thing. So yeah, you got the freebies, but we do have a 3-day masterclass coming up July 21st through the 23rd. Okay. Again, that's July 21st through the 23rd. All right, let me fix my computer screen. And I'm operating on two computers here, or two devices. So give me a moment to get that flyer pulled up, because I totally thought I had it in here. When you think you're ready, honey. All right. Definitely was not there. Thank y'all for bearing with your girl. Cause like I said, totally thought I had that pulled up, and I did not. Okay, I'll go back in and add it. But we do have a um 3-day masterclass. It is asynchronous, meaning you can watch it at any time. You have lifetime access, but the name of it is Setting the Rhythm, a 3-day masterclass to design a harmonious culture in the related arts classroom. Now, this is for arts educators, whether you are new or you are a vet, you seasoned vet in this thing, that's fine. This is for program directors. If you are serving students, you should be here. Okay. If you're serving children, you should be here. Heck, even if you're serving the upper people, you should be here. Okay. You will get 3 videos over the course of 3 days, and after that, it will be packaged up all nice and pretty, and you will receive lifetime access to those videos. So, it's okay if you can't watch them as they're dropping, that's totally fine. It will be packaged up nicely for you to watch later forever. All right. The next thing is you're also going to receive a workbook. Okay. So, a lot of things that we're talking about, you get to actively do them. Why? Because we are students. We should be lifelong learners, okay? And that's something that you can keep forever, refer back to, all that jazz. Another thing is your girl loves resources, okay? So you will receive resources to support you in this journey. And that resource hub will actually be in the space of a Facebook group. Why? Because I can go live in there if I needed to. It's just easier to flow. And a lot of people are actually using that platform versus me setting it up on like a Padlet or something of that nature, which most people probably won't interact with and you don't get notifications. So that's one thing that we will be doing. But yes, so if that's something that you're interested in, it please register at www.cultivatedartseducator.com. Again, that's www.cultivatedartseducator.com. I will tell you the price. The price is $97 because during this live open cart launch, if you will. But after the 3 days, it will then go to 147. And you can buy it out of the shop. Okay. So I did want to make sure you all knew that it's $97 to receive all this yummy goodness. And then after that, it'll be $147. We will be doing a Q&A in a couple days. We'll do a Q&A if you have any questions about the masterclass series or what have you. I got you. So yeah, let me stop sharing on my screen. And if you're on Instagram, I did not show you the video because the posts are already on the Instagram feed. So definitely check those out. If you have any questions, hit the link in bio, DM me. You can email me, what have you. That's totally fine. By me, if you are interested and you're watching the replay, put rhythm in the comments and I will happily follow up with you. If you would like more information, share it with the educators in your life, whether they are in a school, whether they are higher ed, whether they are program directors at the Boys and Girls Club, whether they are summer camp directors, studio teachers. Like every teacher deserves to know how to do this work and do this work well. Okay. So I'm going to sign out of here. I look forward to coming back and chatting with you next time. Again, if you are watching this, like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, follow all social media platforms at cultivated.connections on all social media platforms, including TikTok. Okay. I love you all. Stay peaceful, stay creative. Bye.